January and students. So let's continue with the second part of pronoun. In our last part, we have read about personal pronoun, demonstrative pronoun and reflexive pronoun. So let's continue with the interrogative pronoun. Now we come to the interrogative pronoun. So this is also kind of pronoun. So what is interrogative pronoun? The interrogative pronoun, we use interrogative pronoun to ask the question. The interrogative pronoun represent the thing that we don't know. We like what we are asking the question about. There are four main interrogative pronoun, that who, whom, what. These are the four main interrogative pronoun. So the possessive pronoun whose can also be an interrogative pronoun. We are using whose as a possessive pronoun, but we can also use it as a interrogative pronoun when we have to use, when we need to use as a asking question. So but generally we are using it, we are just delegating with the word when we are using as a possessive. When we are asking for something, then it just comes to the interrogative. So the subject and object, like who and whom word is always used for object. It's not or and the subject, when we are using for the person, we have to use who. And things for what, and person, thing, which, and the person which, whose, and this is whose pen is this. So this is the possessive also, and then this is the question. So this is the question in a possessive form. For example, who told you? John told me. So here it is subject. This is the for the person. Whom did you tell? So I told Mary. So I told you na. So for the question, they have to use for the person. When you are asking for the who and it comes in an answer, so when it comes in an answer as a object, you have to use whom. When it answer comes in a subject, you have to use who. Here you can see the question and answer. Who told you? John told me. Who is going to change with subject only. And whom did you tell? I told Mary. And here whom change with object. So you have to take it in your mind that when you use whom, it should be changed with object. When you use who, it should be changed in subject. So what's happened? An accident happened. So I told you the object for the things, you have to use what? Relative pronoun. So now comes with the relative pronoun. First of all, I would like to introduce with this definition. A relative pronoun is a pronoun with that introduce relative clause. It is called a relative pronoun because it relate to the word that modify, like it whom's, whose, which, that. It relate with the things like whom, who. This is when it comes, I again to tell you that always who and whom comes, who is always come for subject and whom is always come for the object, are generally only for the people, not for the object or things. Whose is the possession, which is for the things, and that can be used for people. And things and as a subject and object is defining relative clauses. Relative pronoun can refer to a singular or plural, and there is no difference between male and female. So here you got just a personal pronoun we are using for he and she. Here it is not needed for that. Like here, there's an example. The person who phoned me last night is my teacher. Here it is not defining what is the gender. It is defining by the person, the particular person. So here the person who, this is the person and that is the subject. That's why it's here is who. And phoned me last night is my teacher. So this is correlate, relate with the things, the subject relate with the sentence, the person who phoned me last night is my teacher. So the person and the object and subject is related with each other. Here again you can say that the car and yellow, that reflect the car which hit me was yellow. It means the car is yellow. It automatically reflect to each other. It means it relate to each other. So it is relative pronoun. The which is using for relate with to, and here who is using for relate with to, and the person whom I phoned last night is my teacher. So here the person whom I phoned, not phoned me. The difference between is that the person whom I phoned means I phoned here. So it means that it comes in an object. The answer is whom you call my teacher. So this is goes in an answer is object. So here we are using for whom. When it comes in an object, then we are using whom. So the person and the teacher is correlate with whom. And the car whose driver jumped out just before the accident was completely destroyed. So what car destroyed? What the car? What is things the completely destroyed? The car whose driver jumped just outside was destroyed. So by whose, this is relate to each other. Now it's indefinite pronoun. So an indefinite pronoun does not refer to any specific person, thing or amount. It is vague and not defined. Some typical indefinite pronouns are. So what is that? That some indefinite pronouns are that everybody, another, nobody. That is never defined with anything particular thing, any specific thing. It's just a general, like no one is coming today, nobody is going to submit the homework. So like this, it's not specify, it's not clear that what, and it's all, any, most, and none, some. It can be a singular or the plural depending on the phrase that follows by them. So this is the example of the indefinite pronoun. Like note that you have to keep this note in your mind that the many indefinite pronouns are also function in the other part of speech also. Look at the following sentence. He has one job in the day and another at night. You have to note one thing, that the many indefinite pronouns are also function as the other part of speech, not as a pronoun, as a different thing, like different manner also, and sometimes it's in pronoun also, it's a different manner. So he has one job and one day and other in at night. I had liked, so here it is used as pronoun, but I had like another drink please. So here another drink, it used like adjective. So some of the time many of the indefinite pronoun is used like in many of parts of speech. So most indefinite pronouns are either singular or plural. However, some of them can be singular in one context and plural in other. Some of the time it is singular in one context and is plural in other. Like the singular pronoun takes a singular verb and that any personal pronoun should also agree. Like all is forgiven, all have arrived. Here all is just using like a first singular, and here all is using like a plural. So you have to keep in this your mind. We can start the meeting because everybody has arrived, and everybody here it is as a singular. And then John likes coffee but not tea. I think both are good. Same. So here we are using as a plural. So here this things you have to keep in mind. Whatever you, some of the time the same word uses in a different manner. So we have to clear with our thing how the things, how the word, how the parts of speech we are using in which manner. Thank you so much. I hope you like it.